My God, that was awful. How's the boy? Can he travel?
Calm yourself, Holmes. He'll be fine. What happened?
It was Red Millie, Watson. Struck dead by a beer wagon.
I haven't heard her name for years. This outrage doesn't seem her style. Who are her cohorts?
Well asked. She would never act alone.
They wouldn't be the first malefactors to be shot of their crime on learning that you were in pursuit.
If you're right, I've been careless. But she can't tell us herself. Her body might. Or this house.
What does it matter? We have the boy.
Unfortunately, his rescue does not complete our task. We're swimming in very deep waters, and the shore is nowhere in sight. What is Virgil's condition, Doctor?
I suspect he's been drugged. If so, he'll be sick shortly. I recommend we remove him from here.
Agreed. Go by the alley. The police will be along soon. The accident has drawn attention like manure draws flies. No need to complicate this any further. Take our cab, leave Virgil with Jonas, and discreetly inform his father that the boy is safe. Best return Toby so Sherman doesn't have a conniption.
And what will you do?
I hope there is more to learn here. In a long chain of evidence, this link is now damaged. It will break and become useless if I don't move quickly. Take good care of the boy, Watson.
Oh dear, oh dear. And it seems like the person who subtitles, I've noticed quite a few spelling mistakes so far. And that one there was quite bad. But anyway, doing all this work, we will have a look around.
You bear no blame in this disaster, sir. The accident was unavoidable.
I know it in me head, Gov. But me heart ain't got the message. I never seen her till she was under the horses. I'll be alright. But not soon. And I suppose the coppers will be coming round.
Yeah, it's not his fault, but still, it's very tragic. No, she definitely did not deserve this death, even though she was involved in this kidnapping. Black sticky residue, okay. Oh, so she must have been wearing this ring with the help of sticky tape. Lovely. It's not exactly obvious, this ring, but here it is. Okay, we've done all that we can do here. Oh. That wasn't me cutting, that was Sherlock Holmes teleporting. There's only a couple of important places to look in this location, but there's quite a lot that we can mess around with. And this is a location where we won't need to return to again after we've visited here. Oh. Oh, wait a second. I meant to look at it in my inventory. I'm guessing by package it means Virgil. And the bauble is referring to the diamond ring with the nice sticky marks all over it. The only real piece of interesting... Well, there are several pieces of interesting items here. Let's have a look around at some of them. Okay, let's start with the interesting ones. We have this handkerchief just here. Yeah, I'm guessing this was used to knock out Virgil. And why we're sniffing it? Well, I hope Holmes didn't sniff it too intently. And I'm not too sure that we actually need this bottle. I'm guessing this is what was used on the handkerchief. Oh yes, and we can taste it. And the last interesting item is here, this paper bag. And these are the same peppermint lozenges that we found in the Silverbridge home. And I believe it's probably what Toby traced. And even though we've picked them up, they don't actually show in our inventory slot just here. I believe because we have already picked them up before. Yes, just here. I believe that is it, but there are a couple of items just here. 2 miserable desiccated biscuits. Nice. I'm not sure what was going to be accomplished by moving a couple of old biscuits, but there we go. Okay. We are done here. Let's get back to 221B Baker Street. We need to analyse this ring.
Did you send word to the MP, Watson?
Discreetly sent and gratefully acknowledged, Holmes.
What have you told the boy?
I promised him tea, and I said we would see him home.
And so we will, but not now. For the moment, he'll have to fit in here.
Okay, so thankfully Wiggins is actually back. We have quite a lot to discuss with him.
Will you share your thoughts about our case, Watson?
Oh, I regret my head is as empty as my pockets, Holmes.
I assume Sherman was pleased to have Toby back?
Despite his nonchalance, he was moved. He patted the hound's head and even thanked me. Virgil liked all of Sherman's animals and is determined to ask his papa to buy them all.
Are you cross with me, Watson? Have I neglected something?
You vowed to make Virgil less conspicuous. What are your intentions? I'm concerned for his well-being.
As am I. I'll take care of it.
And we will. Unfortunately, we can't actually speak to Virgil. And before I speak to Wiggins, I have found that we can do something nice with these pebbles. Well, apart from pick them up. I'm not too sure what we will use them for, but it seems like we can pick up quite a few useless items. Anyway.
Sorry, Mrs. Hudson.
Okay.
Have you seen the man I described to you, Wiggins?
Not dead, sir. I may have done.
Report, please.
I seen a likely bloke on Whitehall. Taking in the sights he was. When he jumps in a cab on the Strand, I follows, but I lost him in the crush where the Kingsway meets Aldwych. I just got the one glance, and he slid past me. Sorry, Gav.
Not to worry. Keep your eye out for him.
It was 1 and 6 for the cab.
That's a weird piece of scripting there. I mean, we're actually already speaking to Wiggins in one location. I'm not too sure why we had to walk back to here, but never mind.
Wiggins, I want you to exercise your powers of observation.
At the usual rate?
Of course. If you remark any suspicious doings outside of 221B or hear anything on the street, report it to me.
My eyes and ears is yours, Mr. Holmes.
And another bad spelling error.
Wiggins, I need your assistance. Are you free?
I got things that needs attention. Is this a paying proposition?
Yes. Virgil, meet Wiggins. Wiggins, this is Virgil. I'd like you to keep an eye on him. Take him with you on your rounds.
Bit green, ain't he? Won't last an hour on the street. Clothes will get stale. Or worse.
Perhaps I should take the boy home, or at least upstairs.
No, Doctor. His home may be watched, and our rooms are unsuitable for an unsupervised lad. Wiggins, take Virgil to Stitch Rumsey's on Jermyn Street. Tell him what Virgil needs by way of suitable clothing. I'll settle with him later.
Right, Gav. If you've got the tin, I've got the time. Let's go, boy.
Come in, Mrs. Hudson. Preparations are complete for your reception at apartments at Kensington. You're expected. Dispose of this note, F.C.
A bit melodramatic, but I'm sure you may accommodate him. I understand his reluctance to make this an official matter.
Reluctance would be an understatement, I think.
And in very short succession, we will be getting 3 new locations. And this one is for, I believe, Kensington Palace.
I wonder if friend Farthington knows the disparaged solicitor Bledsoe.
Because they've both been called to the bar? I would think it highly improbable. Farthington never had much of a practice.
Lawton said Bledsoe kept chambers at Gray's Inn. Farthington lives there. He's just the gentle sort to befriend an outcast.
And that is location number 2. And we are going to analyse this ring.
I'll clean the surface with a pinch of jeweller's rouge.
You'll have to make it first.
And we just need the hydrochloric acids.
The jeweller's mark should be legible. There it is. I recognize it. Burlington Jewellers in the Arcade. Smarmy sort of place.
Perhaps we should make ourselves unwelcome there.
I don't see why not.
We will do very soon. Yeah, despite Wiggins' disappearance for quite a long while, he has quite a few encounters in a very short succession at the moment.
Have you seen the man depicted in this likeness, Wiggins?
And again,
I might have done, Mr. Holmes. This the geezer I'm looking for.
Very like him, I suspect. Did I mention there's a half-crown should you find him?
I'd do most anything for the money, but it's a big city. Do you know anything more about him?
Not at the moment. Wiggins, could this be the man you followed up the Strand?
Could be the bloke, Mr. Holmes. You find him then?
Only this picture. He's not naturally fair, and the beard is false.
He's taken a lot of trouble.
He has a lot to lose. You're still on the case, Wiggins. Don't put yourself at risk. If you spot him, return home. There's a guinea for you when I find him.
I'd do most anything for the money, but it's a big city. Do you know anything more about him?
Not at the moment.
and as you can probably guess, 2 of the 3 new locations are right in this area just here. There we go, there's number 2. Okay, let's go to Kensington Palace first.
Make yourselves comfortable, gentlemen. I will be with you momentarily.
We will. There's a few things that we can look at the moment. Some are important, some aren't. And just for fun, the only way to trigger getting the Kaiser here is to speak to Watson.
Old Fritz has a place of honour here. It appears to be an honest likeness.
What was Frederick to Wilhelm II?
Great-uncle to his grandfather. By all accounts, the most illustrious commander of his age, notwithstanding the fact that expediency was his first and only political principle.
I read he was cold, snuff-stained, secretive and excessively cerebral. Not precisely the role model one might wish for the new emperor.
The image does not inspire confidence among foreigners. Nevertheless, he was a masterful combination of remarkable characteristics. He was not gratuitously dubbed the Great. Friend and foe found him so.
And here he is. Oh, Kaiser Wilhelm II.
Thank you for receiving us, sir, in your apartments.
Our pleasure, Mr. Holmes, accompanied by your Boswell, too. One has read of your ingenious exploits, of course. The Empress Frederick will be quite envious.
Very kind of you to say, sir.
These were Prince Albert's rooms. The Kaiser is sensible of the honour his cousins bestow.
I perceive the resemblance between you and Frederick the Great.
A few fine traits run strong in our family. Regrettably, not all. The sweep of his genius was enormous. Soldier, musician, politician. He loved England, you know.
And the affection was reciprocated. Who is your Voltaire, sir?
Such men are not common, Mr. Holmes. But the Kaiser has determined he will be found.
He seems like a very likeable fellow.
Given your title, I would have thought a memento of the first Caesar to be appropriate for your rooms.
Never! The title is a linguistic accident endured also by my Russian cousin. Julius was an ambitious demagogue and profligate. His reign was not divinely ordained, and he betrayed his birthright, which must always be wrong.
Your view of history is illuminating, sir. My mission is difficult, Your Highness. May I speak frankly?
You may. Mr. Carter recommends you, and the Kaiser opines that you are a man of goodwill.
I believe an agent of the Imperial Chancellor is engaged in a scheme detrimental to British interests, and to your own intentions, as I understand them.
One is not surprised. Von Bismarck and I are at odds. He is a desperate man. Who is the agent?
I'd like you to confirm his identity.
We will do that in just a second.
The late Prince engaged in many philanthropic activities.
I believe he was generous with his time.
And he understood the power of a photograph.
Photographs exert a valuable educational influence on the public.
They're better than advertisements, Your Highness. People think them incontestable proof of an event or state of being. Despite the fact that they're rarely spontaneous, they are, for some, the true historical record.
The Kaiser enjoys being photographed.
Oh, really? But anyway, we do actually have a photograph that we can share with this man. Sorry, the Kaiser.
Please look at this and tell me if he strongly reminds you of someone. I believe you have recognized the likeness, Your Majesty. Who is it?
Bismarck's cur, Colonel Mullendorf. If he's in England, it's an unofficial visit. I left him in Berlin without a beard, incidentally. What is he involved in?
I believe he has received or will receive Ministry of Defense secrets, which were stolen by a British clerk.
Espionage would suit Bismarck's current style. Mullendorf, der Wachthund as he's known, is the Chancellor's instrument. He doubtless intends to turn over the stolen material to my military and compromise them. Can his plans be frustrated?
If he and the document are still in England, yes. The affair need never reach the public's notice here or in Germany. To that end, I have kept Scotland Yard out of my inquiry. I should say that Her Majesty's government believes you blameless in this matter. What do you know of Mullendorf's habits, Your Highness?
Almost nothing. He's a great bore, and my father distrusted him. We have no common connection save Graf von Zeppelin. I do recall that he's a trencherman, enormous appetite, and he adores Wagner, a fool for the ring. Decent voice, I believe.
Why would he act contrary to your interests? His behavior is treasonous.
He reveres Bismarck as the true embodiment of the state.
But he owes allegiance to his emperor, surely. What of duty and loyalty?
Attributes of national character may turn to vices in some men, Mr. Holmes. British imperturbability may become callousness. The French concern for appearance may devolve into vanity. Obedience is a Prussian virtue, but slavish compliance to false authority is its vice.
Thank you, Your Highness.
He does not lack for courage, Mr. Holmes. Do not underestimate him. If you confront him, he will not slink away.
We must take our leave, Your Highness. Any parting advice?
I counsel great caution. While serving as a provincial official, Mullendorf was several times charged with reckless and violent behavior, but he was not once convicted. Witnesses for the prosecution always seem to disappear before trial. Keinen Zeugen, Keinen Probe. No witnesses, no proof. He is a dangerous and unpredictable adversary. Take no chances.
Thank you for your concern.
And I can offer a morsel which may confer an advantage if you confront him. Mention Baron Buchholz Svoboda. It was he who laid open Müllendorf's face in an unlawful duel. Not 5 men know both participants. Müllendorf knows that I am one of them. He will be mortified, if not chastened, to learn that you come from me. Buchholz Svoboda's name will serve you better than my imperial seal.
I'll remember the name, Your Highness. Thank you.
You could at least bow. Anyway, that was very useful information from the Kaiser.
The Kaiser has a diverse collection of reading materials.
You expected von Clausewitz, the brothers Grimm and Grillparzer?
No, but the range of titles is impressive.
You surprise me, Holmes. Anyone can have a library. The question is, does he read?
Good point.
What's the point of the spike? Have I missed something about the design of this helmet?
I doubt it. Even the Prussian military is entitled to an occasional flight of fancy.
What folly? I must say I'm shocked. What a beautiful weapon. My single stick would be no match for it.
Interesting, but not material, unless you were planning on asking the Kaiser for a duel.
Such an instrument might have other uses.
Yeah, let's not go challenging the leader of another nation for a duel right now. Okay, so I guess this is as good a place as any.